Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Mid Year Freakout Tag. So I don't actually know if I did this tag last year because I heard about it after the fact. I may have done it, I can't remember. But this year I feel like I'm getting to it right on time because we're in the month of June, which is halfway through the year. And yeah, so I'm actually going to do it this time. I had a hard time coming up with answers to these prompts because I've only, according to Goodreads, read 30 books so far this year, and I know a lot of other booktubers have read a lot more books. I don't know how you guys do it, but I do my best to read as many as I can in a month. And so these are my answers for the tag. So the first question is the best book you've read so far in 2020. For me, I could not choose between two of them, so I'm going to choose both of them for this, and that is Battle Royale and Illuminae. Now, I just finished Illuminae today, and it left me with such a feeling that it's already moved up to one of the best books of 2020. So that tells you something about how good this book was. Lots of you on BookTube were telling me to read this book, and now I know why. I will have a further in-depth discussion about it in my June wrap-up. Number 2 is the best sequel you have read so far in 2020, and it took me a while to pick this one because I was looking through my shelves, but eventually I chose Wicked King by Holly Black. I really enjoyed Cruel Prince, and so I read Wicked King and really enjoyed this one as well. I don't know yet if I've liked this one more than Cruel Prince. I feel like I still like the Cruel Prince more because like it set the tone for the series, and like usually I like the first book of a series anyways. But this one did hold its own very well, and it's very close to how I feel about the first one. So that's why this one was my favorite sequel of the year. Number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to. For me, I'm choosing Seasons of the Storm by El Cosimano. This book is about 4 teenagers that are turned into the gods of the seasons, essentially. And in order to survive, they need to hunt each other down, kind of in the cycle of how the seasons go. 2 of the seasons end up falling in love, and in order to escape this kind of cycle that they're in, they're going to have to fight like hell to get out of it, and the gods that are in control of the 4 seasons are not going to let them go without a fight. It's a new fantasy that comes out, where it just came out in May, and I heard about this one a while back and thought it was really exciting and something that I really wanted to read because I hadn't heard of a concept like that before. Well, like we've heard many of those concepts, but like having to make them into the seasons, and I don't know, I just thought the whole thing was kind of cool. But yeah, that's just one of many new releases that I would like to get to. Then we have number 4, which is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I don't know too many books coming out. There is one that is coming out in July, and that's called Set Fire to the Gods. And I think this book sounds really cool. It's been said that it's a mixture of Avatar Airbender with gladiators. So I think that sounds really cool. There's going to be lots of action scenes I can guess from that. The cover of the book, as you can see, is very intense, and I just like the whole like controlling the elements and then being put into an arena and having to fight with that. Like that sounds awesome. In this one, the warriors or gladiators essentially have to fight for the gods of the element that they control, and in this one, the main character is controlling the fire element, but she kind of wants to escape out of this routine where she has to be a fighter for her god. And so she's fighting against another one that is supposedly controlling the element of earth, but the secret is he doesn't exactly have the element of earth. He has something even more powerful that the gods don't know about yet, and she's caught on to that. So now she needs to work with him to try and go against the gods and kind of break out of this cycle. So it's another one of those breaking the cycle books, but I think that sounds so cool, and like I'm excited to see where that one goes. Then we have number 5, and that is my biggest disappointment, and this one was a pretty easy choice for me, and that is Other Life. I started off this series really enjoying it, and I thought it was really good, and then I got to the end, and it was too easy, I guess. It didn't end the way I wanted to. It kind of let me down a little bit, and everything just happened so quickly that I don't know. I just like it didn't feel like a good resolution to the series, or there just like wasn't enough it just felt like a lot was missing. So yeah, this series is kind of like Ready Player One in the sense that it's like they're all inside of virtual reality. I can't really say much about the book because like if I do, this is the third book in the series and the conclusion, so I don't want to like give anything away. But it was a disappointment for me just because the first one started off so strong and then it just kind of went downhill. And number 6 is Biggest Surprise, and I chose Steel Crow Saga. The reason I chose this book, it wasn't like a big surprise that it was really good. It was more of a surprise to me that I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. I had really high expectations for it, and I was kind of surprised by the fact that like as I was reading it, I wasn't enjoying it as much as I wanted to. I think it's just due to like so much being condensed into the one book, and there's a lot of world building and a lot of character building and a lot of characters, and I just had a hard time keeping track of everything, and I think that kind of brought it down for me. But yeah, I was really going into this book very excited, looking really forward to it, and I only gave it a rating of 3.5, and I was like I think expecting to give it a rating of like 4 or higher. So yeah, that was a big surprise for me. Number 7 is Favorite New Author or Debut Author to You. I chose Nancy Richardson Fisher, and this is the book, The Speed of Falling Objects. I picked this book up on a whim while I was in the HarperCollins office because they had a table of books that they said I could pick one from to take home with me, and I loved the cover of this one, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this one. And I'm so glad I did because this book was awesome. Like I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It blew me away. I had zero expectations going into this book and had an amazing time. Flew through the book in, I think, a weekend, and it's just awesome. This was about a girl named Danny, and she was going to visit her father. Her father runs this TV show series where he takes celebrities and they go out into the wild and survive. And so she's going out to see him in the Amazon, but on the flight out there, she meets up with her dad, and then they're flying to their spot in the Amazon where they're going to start filming, but on that flight, the plane ends up crashing, and then they're all kind of thrown into this survival story where they have to survive in the Amazon after a plane crash instead of just surviving for the TV show. And it gets really intense. There's some drama in here, and I really liked all the like little tidbits that you got to learn about survival in the Amazon, because I think that the author actually did her research on this, and there were some parts that like full on made sense and would actually be things you would do. I also just liked all the different character dynamics in it and all the underlying things while they're trying to survive. They're like dealing with family struggles, and it was really good. I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed this author, and I definitely want to pick up something else by Nancy. Then number 8 is Newest Fictional Crush, and I don't really like get fictional crushes on people, but if I had to, I would choose Katie from Illuminae because she was honestly like one of the most awesome characters I've encountered so far this year. Yeah, she was just great. She had like the perfect attitude about everything, and she like should be coined as the term badass because that's Katie. Katie is badass. So yeah, I know I'm bringing Illuminae up again, but that character was awesome, and so that would be where my crush goes to. Then number 9 is your newest favorite character, and for this one, I know I already said this, but I'm choosing Kawada from Battle Royale. I can't really say much about why he's my favorite character, but honestly, just he's so funny. I just love Kawada. He's awesome. There's so many characters in this book, but he just really stood out to me, and he's a character that I just like thought was awesome right away. So yeah, I don't have much else to say about it. I can't really say much else because I don't want to if anybody picks this book up, I don't want to give anything away. So just know that he's pretty cool. Number 10 is a book that made you cry, and I don't really cry for books. I don't really get that emotionally attached when I'm reading books, so I don't really know what to answer for this one. I might just pass on to the next question because I don't really cry in books. I'm more of like, I think I talked about this before, but like, I think movies will make me cry more than books because they have that emotional connection with using like music or something in the background to kind of like instigate that emotion in you. Whereas books, and I'm just reading, there's nothing really that like pulls the tears from me. So yeah, I'm just gonna go to number 11. Number 11 is a book that made you happy, and I chose Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I thought this book was just adorable, and every time I picked it up, I was excited to see what else was happening with the characters in this story. It was just kind of like one of those lovey-dovey reads that just made you feel like your heart was full. So I chose that one, and I think a lot of people that have read Fangirl will agree with me that it is one of those lovey-dovey reads that makes you just feel those happy thoughts. Number 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or have received. I chose We Are Okay. I just think this cover is absolutely stunning. I love the art style of it. I love how it only uses a couple colors, and it looks like it's a sketch, which is also really cool. And it could be like a styled watercolor. I really love this cover. I haven't read this book yet. It's been on my shelf for a long time. I think I should pick it up because it's really not that big, but I just think the cover is absolutely gorgeous. And so, yeah, I chose this one. And then number 13 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So I chose 3 books that I feel like I have to get done before the end of the year just because I want to. One of them is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I'm really looking forward to this book, and I just want to pick it up so bad. So like I have to do this by the end of the year for sure. The other one is Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, because I really want to finish that series, and I want to jump back into that world because I haven't had enough of it yet. So I'm excited to see how it ends, and I hope it doesn't disappoint me. We'll see. And then the next one is Gemina, because I just finished Illuminate and it was absolutely amazing. And so now I need to jump right back into that series and read the next one. I want to know what happens. I just want to know everything. And I need to get more of this, because when I finished that book today, I was just like, my mind was blown and I just wanted to keep reading. So this is definitely going to be consumed before the end of the year. And that's it for the Mid Year Freakout Tag. I'm going to be tagging Gabriella from Books and Other Nerd Things, Ben from Ben's Blurb, and Ilia from Ilia the Bookworm. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of these books and what you think about it. Also, if you just want to gush more about Illuminate, because now I can do it with you. Let's do it. I loved it, as you can tell. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon down in the description. You can go check that out. I also started a Ko-fi page, so that is also going to be down in the description for you to check out if you want to get me a coffee. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I post videos every Monday and Thursday. And until next time, keep on reading.